Good evening, everyone. Yes, it's the hillbilly, and she's outside. She's not in there making soap. But we're going to have a little lesson on a beautiful herb that I'm going to be transplanting in a special spot so that they would just be my own, my very own. I am coveting this plant. So, let's get started. This right here, if you like licorice, you will love if you go out foraging for this plant. And it's called long style sweetroot. And no, I'm not even going to try to give it its scientific name because you know me and my talking. It's also wild anise and licorice root. So whatever you want to name it. And you can eat every bit of this. The root all the way to the flowers, which I'm going to take some right now. Because, oh yeah, I love licorice, especially black licorice. Those flowers have, look at my hands. Those flowers have the strongest flavor of licorice. So they're really fun to eat while they're in bloom. But also, the seeds, I guess that's why they call it the long style. Anyways, if you let it go to seed, you can dry them out, or you can just add them to, different kinds of dishes. I would say sweet dishes or even a salad. But if you dry them out, you can add them as if you would true anise. You could probably also take the root, dry it. I'm just talking about ingesting here because there's nothing wrong with this plant. Ingesting, you could take the root, dry it out, or take it as soon as you cut it and you wash it and chop it up and put it in some vodka. You could make a good, or I guess you could add it to glycerin or whatever and make it for like a flavoring for, I don't know, syrup, candy. How about cakes and cookies? Oh yeah. Anyway, so there are, I think I read it was like 7 different varieties because, plants do mutate. And the one thing you want to do to make sure is if everything, even the leaves, where is my hands, my dirty hands, the leaves, crush it up and taste it. Licorice. That is the easiest and best way I know how to distinguish, because there are some that look-alikes. I can't even think of the name. I'm so tired. I shouldn't be doing a video in the evening. And but anyways, taste it. If it's bitter, get it out of your mouth. But yeah, if it tastes like licorice, you got it. They grow about 3 to 4 feet tall, and they love semi-shade. So as you can see around this tree, this is where this stash is growing. And it's in a field. So I am going to dig them up, some of them, and I'm going to transplant them probably tomorrow over underneath a couple of my trees. What do you think? But anyways, this is what they look like when they're growing. I thought maybe you would be interested in knowing that. So, not too many herbs I talk about for ingesting, consuming, if you will. But the wild licorice or the sweetroot, all the parts are edible, like I said, and I've known it as poor man's anise or licorice. I don't like to say anise because sometimes I say the wrong thing. Sounds too much close. So anyways, licorice, poor man's licorice. Every bit of it is edible. You can put it in salad, especially around this time of the year, because they're young and tender, and they're the leaves, or I should say the leaves and the stems, very, very, see if I can get a better picture, moist. So you could chop them up and eat them. You can take them in and take the leaves and even the roots, slice them up, dry them if you will, and make a delicious tea. Let's see. They say now, some of them are a little bit stronger with the licorice flavor than others, but 10 to 20 times sweeter than sucrose. So, you know, if you got to stay away from sugar, this would be a good substitute. Sorry that I'm getting a little hard hanging on to this. And so 10 to 20 times sweeter, I tell you what, that's a good one. It's also an antioxidant. So you know what that does? It keeps those free radicals out of your system. And we're still talking about, you know, ingesting. And stomach disorders, you know, like upset stomach, just a lot of bowel problems. This herb is very good. Drink it as tea. Use it in, you know, whatever, spice, or, you know, salads or anything like that. But it's very, very good for the stomach. And yes, it's all safe. Children can have it. And I bet you if they had an upset stomach, they would love to drink licorice tea. And let's see. It's also good for kidney disorders, I would say, what I read. And you know me, I like to go dig. And this is all, you know, scientific, but this stuff has been around for generations and generations, especially, you know, First Nation. All different tribes used it. I'm sure that they still do. It's good for detoxing kidney problems, good for liver functioning, you know, keeping it in good health. Let's see. Oh, I already said they were antioxidants. That's a very good thing. But the whole plant you can make as teas. You can make a tea and gargle for a sore throat. You can also use it for eye wash, like pink eye, you know, or, you know, just having inflammation. Very good rinse, and it would be, you know, a tea. And so would the, you know, the stomach and the kidneys and the liver. That would be really good for making teas. And boy, I tell you what, they make delicious tea, but it is also an expectorant, especially for a dry cough. So yeah, and preventative measures, like if you would use, I'm sitting there seeing a bumblebee. Let's see if I can get him on there. Oh yeah, he likes that tree. It's a pretty old tree. Anyways, I wonder if he's going to go in one of those cracks. Here I am just getting off the line, aren't I? What was I saying? Oh, expectorant. dry coughs, and also a preventative. That's what I was gonna say. Sorry, you guys, it's late. You know, hillbilly is getting tired, but it is good for cold and flu remedies, preventative. And yeah, if you got it, you know, it'd be nice to drink the tea. But like the elderberry, this would be very good to, you know, have a cup of tea every day, you know, for preventative measurements. Okay. Pounding the roots, emaciating, or the leaves, you can use it as a poultice. This is on the outside now. It's not ingesting. But I think you figured that out, right? All right. I just love talking to myself. Well, I'm not kinda. I got you guys, but I don't see you, so it's kind of hard. Anyways, make it a poultice of roots that you just go out there and get. I wouldn't do dry roots. Of course, that wouldn't make a very good poultice. But the leaves, and, you know, just, you know, get them really juicy, pounded, and put it on boils and wounds. Not deep, deep wounds, but, you know, scrapes and cuts and, you know, things like that. Because what's good about it? It's antibacterial. It's anti-inflammatory. It's an antiseptic, or what you want to say, antiseptic. Antifungal. So let's say you're just running around and you get cut on, you know, get a splinter or whatever. So that's good to know. So why not take and do an infusion? Take the leaves if you get a whole bunch of them. I don't see them everywhere, and I'm sorry, I'm just kind of putting back here just showing you. It's like a little stash here because, yeah, we're not in the woods, but you would find them in, you know, semi-shade around a tree, especially in the spring like it is right now. That would be the good time, you know, to find it and gather it. But dry them up and then do an infusion, an oil infusion, you know, for soaking, or you could make soap with it, you know, all different kinds of stuff. So this is some good stuff that's very rarely talked about. And is it delicious? I don't know why in the world. But anyways, they've also did, you know, testing for it being a fungicide. So I guess that you would take leaves and then you would make like a tea. Like years ago, my favorite fertilizer was manure tea. Now it sounds terrible, but anyways, it worked. It was beautiful, especially if you had goats. So take some leaves and infuse them, you know, making a tea that way, putting it in water, let it soak for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I know it sounds terrible, and yes, since it's green, it'll probably stink. But if you put it in a bottle and you used it, you know, as a fungicide, I think that that would work very well. They wouldn't have done testing to see if it was and is, so I didn't get into too much of, you know, that looking on there. But yes, so antifungal, we're talking about skin, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, you know, soaking in things, or, you know, put it as a tea, you know, and to soothe skin. And also, if you infused it with, this is what I'm going to do besides making it to eat, you know, for edible reasons. I am going to make up some herbal oil, bath oil, because it's anti-spasmodic. So if I anti-spasms. Am I saying? Yeah. Anyways. Helps soothe spasms of muscles. So, that's why I use the goldenrod. Same thing. So it'd be kind of really nice to put the two together and see what, powerful, medicine just soaking in it, which a lot of my peoples buy. I have to make it every week. So the goldenrod works very well, but what I've read and studied on this plant, yeah, got some that will be very hairy. I can't remember which species, or I should say, they're both about the same. One is very, very hairy, and then others are not. So what I would do is taste it. You can't go wrong with that. All right, I think that's enough. And I took some pictures, so I know going around, let you see what it is. But especially this time of spring, and you're out there gallivanting in the woods, look for that. All right. Enough said about licorice root or sweet root, which that's probably what I will call sweet root on the video. So I hope this just wasn't a jibber jabber whatever. I'm sorry, you guys. I should do it in the morning. But anyways, I hope you liked the video and you learned something from this old hillbilly. And I will see you in the next. Until then, try to stay out of trouble. I will try to. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.